And we are live. Hey, hey, hey. Hey, guys, how are you? Hope you are good. My light just decided to just fall because of whatever reason. That's a new one. Okay, then everything follows. Um, all right. How are you? I hope you're amazing. I hope everything is going well for you. I hope everything you wished for came through today or will do so tomorrow. All right. So I'm Reverend Dr. Marie Burfield. I usually do wonderful motivational and just reminders. Sometimes it's not like you're not smart or intelligent or able to do what you need to do, but it's just sometimes you just need a little booster. You just need a little reminder of who you are, what you are, and what you're capable of. So I was having this conversation with someone, and not necessarily a conversation, but it just kind of like pop up, the whole idea. Man, he just shoots straight like, oh, whatever we're talking about, like, oh, well, men created women. And I'm like, say what now? But I mean, some people get it, some people don't. I'm not even gonna get into that. Whatever it is that you believe in, whatever it is that you trust, whatever story that you trust at this time, it's all good. I'm not judging you for it. But what I feel is that a lot of stories, a lot of things are created somewhat to, I don't want this to be misunderstood, you know, but it's just that I feel in different cultures, sometimes there are stories that are created to minimize the value of a woman. In reality, without the woman, what can truly be done? You think about it. I mean, can they have kids? Can they even take care of kids without a woman around? The minute that the mother leaves their kids, or the court hand over their kids, the first thing they do is start looking for the next girlfriend. They'll take anybody and everybody because it's like, listen, this is too much, to handle. So, as we were talking, and I was trying to really not get into it, because it's just like, this is just this is just another one. I don't like how this is looking grainy. I'm trying to, and this is too dark, right? And this is too bright. I don't know what's going on with this thing tonight. The internet was acting out, and now the light is acting out. It's all good. Let's see if we could tone it down so there's no distraction. This is better. All right, I heard you. This is better. So so because of this, I just felt compelled to just remind my sisters all around the world how wonderful they are. Cuz even any little, cuz you see a little comment like that, and the comment was not made as, you know, like a humble way. It was made as though we wouldn't be anything without them. Okay. I'm all for it. I'm all for my kings, but there are certain things that are just unnecessary because once you start thinking that way, you're always gonna have to keep fighting to prove that you're better than the other. And I think the idea was not trying to be better than the other, but it was much more seeing our capacity, our potential, our talents and skills, and seeing how we can put that together, how we can join that together for the betterment of our family, our union. That's what I thought. But anyhow, I mean, to me my sisters are very important. They're required in life. You know, studies have shown that a woman who lives alone versus a woman who's married, when she lives alone, she lives a longer life. And a man versus living alone and living with a woman, when a man lives with a woman, he has a longer life. You catching what I'm saying? So, this is not something I'm making up. You could just look it up. These are studies that people have followed, men and women, for a period of time, and this was their results. So men, when they have a woman, the men live longer. Women, w- versus when they live by themselves. Women, when they live with a man, they die earlier, versus if the women live by themselves, they live longer. And I am not in any way advocating and telling people go leave alone because men are users. That is not what I'm saying. Absolutely not. That's not what I'm saying. Because having companion is spectacular. If you know how to treat it, if you know how to handle it, it can be spectacular. It can be great. It can be wonderful. It can be very productive, very fruitful. It can be all that which you want. But the purpose of this is just to remind my sisters that around the world, women are the primary caretakers. Therefore, you are important, sister. Why do I have? I'm like, you know, this is so weird. I hate when that happens. When your lips is not necessarily dry, but it looks like it's a little choppy. Anyway, much love. So around the world, women are the major caretaker. That they may be sisters, that they may be moms, grandmothers. You know, a lot of times you hear people like when their parents are having issues, they always end up living with a sister, with an auntie, or especially their grandma. You know, um, women are truly like the light of the past and the light of the future, because without women, really, what could we have done? Women truly makes the world Women truly make the world turn around, because I mean, we do so much. I'm not minimizing anybody else, because people have the tendency, when you say, I'm the best, that's mean you're the worst. No, I'm the best. It just means that I'm the best. It doesn't mean that you're bad. It doesn't mean that you're anything less. It simply means that I'm the best. Point blank, you know? So I just want to remind my sisters that you're wonderful, you're amazing. Um, you always give something to remember, you know, um, and you are worth remembering. You are worth being in life because you give life, you know? You give life. So you're worth it. You are totally worthy being here in life, living because you give life. Without you, there'd be no other life. So, you know, thank you. I had my headset on. You know what? I'm having too much fun tonight. You know, I should have gone to bed. I should have just gone to bed. I had my headset on, so I totally forgot to do that. And in the process, I'm like pulling my hair. Yeah, I need to go to bed. But you know what? This was in my heart, and I just didn't want to, like, say I'm going to do it tomorrow. And next thing you know, it never happens. So I said, you know what? I might as well do it now. And when you even look at society today, women occupy so many important roles. And even when they are not specifically or literally in the role, they still fulfill something. If their husbands are presidents, or if their husbands occupy some kind of authoritative authoritative role, they're still present to advise them, to say, you know what, I don't think this policy is a good idea. I don't think you should go there. I don't should. When you have a woman in your life, she can keep you alive. And I can see how and why when a man has a woman, and how his life is prolonged, because women are always talking to you. They're like, listen, I don't like your friend. I don't like the way he was looking at you. I don't like the way she was looking at you. I don't like this party you say you're going to. And when you listen to her, you're safe. You know, a woman is not necessarily, or it's not going to be most of the time like a man who's going to, like, stand up, physically defend you. Though she can, and though she has had, she has protected, her children over time. We've always been in the way when police is coming for our men, and we stand in between and say, no way, you know. But what I'm saying is, naturally, that's not necessarily what she goes towards, but I mean, as a nurturer, she tends to also do that, to just like protect people, to just be like, listen, you can't do this, to defend other, to advocate for other people. um I mean, women organize so many things that have transpired in life, that have that had transcended, that have improved. It was most likely because of women. If she didn't do it specifically, she had her husband or her partner, however you want to see it. She had her husband um working there, and then she say, honey, you know what, I think you should look into this. I think you should look into that. And then sometime when he doesn't listen, and it's a good idea, and she knows it's a doggone good idea, she stands her ground. She stands her ground, and she start demanding it because she knows that it's going to make a difference in the world. So women hold a lot of, pertinent role in society, and she makes sure that other people are okay. So we cannot, no one can take that away from her. In my culture, we tend to say, women are like, they women carry the men on their backs. you know? Um, yeah. So I thought it was an interesting way of seeing it. It's not literally like, men are on the back on their backs, but it's just like men are on their backs because they look out for their men. They make sure that their men are clean, they look good, they are preserved, they don't go places that they don't need to go. They are well cared for. So, you know, whatever that he gives her, she multiplies, she does I mean, mysteries. She's a mystic. She's a what do you call that? She's a magician, you know? You give a noodle and she makes like a whole meal and you're like wondering, is this the same noodle? You go buy her a bag of rice, a bag of beans and um I don't know, some fish or chicken, and next thing you know, she make a fist out of it. She makes a meal out of it that everybody can eat. And when you're thinking there was no more, she still find a way to make it multiply. She still find a way to preserve some of it for tomorrow to ensure that her family eats. So without a woman, I mean, what can you really do? How much can you accomplish? Can you really be successful in life without a woman? Yeah, I know you can find a couple, you'll be like, oh, this one, that one. Guess what? Even if this person didn't have an official partner, whoever they were hanging around with, still give them ideas. Whoever they were hanging with, still give them ideas about, what they can do, how they can handle it, what they should do and shouldn't do. This is not a good idea. This is a good idea. So we gotta like stop trying to act as though women are not important in society in 2021. That you still want women to take a back seat in society. You're still demanding that she stays home instead of going to work. This is her own choice. It's not for you to decide, you know, this is what you do, this is what you don't do, this is what you can do, this is the way you should do it, and so on. So it just doesn't make sense. Um, Usually, um when you deal with a woman with tenderness, with humility, with respect, love, um usually she returns that those characteristics. She returns it in 10 times fold. It's just like they were saying, women, it's like you sleep with her, you give her sperm, next thing you know, she give you 2, 3 babies, you know. So it's just like the mysteries of a woman is just amazing. It's just something that you cannot explain. It's just something that you cannot minimize in society or in life or in the universe. She is it, you know so many times I've heard so many things, people try to switch thing around and say it was this, it was that. No, you cannot minimize women. They have traveled to space. What did they find? A black woman. They have been digging all around the world. What have they found? you know So it's like you just can't minimize her. She's everywhere. She's the mother of the universe. She has taken care of everybody. There's not a race, a nation, a people that can say that a black woman did not help them at some point or another. There's not a person that can say a black person, a black woman did not feed their child or their their ancestors or whatever have you. I have met so many people um in my line of work, um, or during other events that always were so proud. And I'm not talking about Haitians, I'm talking about people from all over the world that I have met. And at some point in their lives, maybe they had a nanny that was like a Haitian woman, and they would like, I thought sometimes they were just messing with me, and they would start telling me about our music, about our food, what food she used to feed them, and a couple of words in Creole they remember. And it was just amazing, to see something like that. So this is why I'm saying, you cannot minimize the women. Stop trying to do so because she's important. She's the whole thing that keeps it, she's the thing that keeps it all together. Without her, everything will fall apart. So, um, imagine like a woman can take care of like 10 children, and then just to find out that 10 children cannot take care of one person. They have to put her in a nursing home. They have to put her in a rehab. They have to put her in a senior home or whatever have you, because you know what? They don't have time. But how did she do it as a single mom, taking care of all of you, going to work, coming back, taking care of you, help you with homework, feed you, make sure everybody bathed, make sure everybody ate, make sure everybody's okay for tomorrow. But who's checking on her? Who's making sure that she's okay? Who's making sure that she's sleeping all right? Who's making sure that she's breathing all right? Who's making sure that she's happy? She's content. She's satisfied. She's met her dreams and she's good to go. Who's making sure of that? It is so sad when I hear people try to talk in such a way, trying to minimize women as though she's just a weak link. It's so sad. I mean, I always wonder, have you thought about your mother when you speak this way? Do you know how you got here? Like, that alone is the biggest uh, piece of magic ever. That how long science have been trying to study the woman, the whole process of giving birth and milk and this and that, and they still can't figure it out. you know just the other day they're talking about, oh yeah, breastfeeding is better, but we've been saying that forever now. That's what we've been doing, and that's what we've been saying you know but come on. You cannot minimize her. Without her, there would be no world. There would be no universe. There would be nothing, probably. So you cannot minimize her. Without her, there is nothing that can stand together. Just imagine of a spider web, you know? There would be no web without the spider. So stop acting as though the web will be there anyway, even without the spider. No, they won't. Don't act like the bees will stick around without their queen. No, they won't. They follow wherever their queens are. The queen goes left, they go left. The queen goes right, they go right. Automatically. No one is forcing them to follow. And I think these are lessons in nature that need to be learned. They talk about the lion is the king of the jungle. But when there's time for feeding the family, who feeds the family? The lion sits there. It's the lioness that goes and feed the family. She's the hunter. So we have to learn. What is it? Is it there's a was it a certain I just said it, spider, I think after they have mated and they eat the male, or is it the uh, oh my god, of course it's in the sea. It's similar to the spider. And of course, the minute I hang up, I close this, I'm gonna remember. But it's the same. This, once they mate, they kill um, the man or the male. It's like, these are things that you should learn from nature. I mean, there are so many other things. It's like it always shows you that. the female is the king, because the female is keeping things together. The female is doing all these things, so many things, and she can still keep it together. She still hasn't fallen apart, though she wants to, but she knows so many people count on her, so um she can't just quit it. She can't just quit it. She can't just abandon everybody else, even if sometimes her dreams are delayed, you know, because she's caring for her family. She does it anyway. How many times we're watching those American Idols or Voice or whatever have you, and the person would tell you, what was her name? I think was it Lily? Something like Macbeth or some name like that. She was awesome. She looks beautiful for a 50-year-old. She looks like she's 25, if you ask me. And she was, for whatever, how many years of her life, maybe like 30 years or something, she was taking care of her family. She wasn't able to pursue her dream as a singer. And oh my God, she sung, because I still listen to it. Um, oh my God, not Pandora's Box. Why is this coming to my head? But oh my God, I'm seeing it in my head. It's just not coming out of my mouth. Okay, it's not coming out of my mouth. But it's kind of like a upper room prayer kind of thing, and I mean, oof, she she like made a new creation. Alabaster? Alabaster? Sometimes I'm just like my mind is just working in reverse, but I think something like that, Um let me see. I really don't want to do this. I don't want to lose my page, but because sometimes when you don't remember the something and it starts like annoying your mind because you're just like, yeah, I was correct. That's why I was thinking of the Pandora box. It's the alabaster box. Um, but I can't remember her name. Lily McLeod. Oh my God. I mean, look it up if you get a chance. Lily McLeod. She sung, Alabaster Box, song by CC Winans. And oh my God. Mm-mm-mm. It's like you hearing the song for the first time. I'll tell you that much. Um, uh, you would have, still in the spirit of speaking of women, you will have a woman who, um, who has a partner, who has a man who had a car accident. And for 20 years, he couldn't walk, eat by himself. She would take care of him for 20, 30 years until boom, miracle happens. He can walk again and he can get back to his function. Him, she um gets hurt. I mean, and they put her to rest, for a month or 2 months if this prolonged. I mean, if you're lucky, he'll stick around, but sometimes some leave you by the first or the second week because they can't handle it anymore. A lot of time, cancer patients, women that end up with cancer, a lot of time find themselves alone because their men walk away from them. And a lot of times women don't do that. And I'm not saying 100% because I know some women who have also walked away or just do some really awkward and uncomfortable things. I'm not saying dumb or stupid because you know what? It's something that the person does that makes them happy, you know? So it's not for me to judge whatever that they did because no one is gonna stick their feet on on a shoe that doesn't fit them all day. So they're not gonna be able to stand on it all day. However, if the shoe fits, of course they will keep it on all day. So whatever people do is whatever that works for them. So um what else? I mean, women are like they are the pillars, you know, that keep the house together, that keep the temple together. Because without her, it's like everything would crumble, everything will just fall into pieces. Because you know what, she's not around. You can see the difference when children are home with their father, and then they're young. I'm not talking about grown children, and then the mother goes away for a conference for like a weekend and the house is upside down, the children are crying. I mean, like, it's crazy. I was talking to some persons, and you know, their wife was away and we were just going over some documents, and oh my god, he was losing his mind. And you know, and I've had friends who has had to deal with being a single father for a minute, and you know, they did okay, but it's not all the time. Most of the time a lot of people cannot handle it. They get nervous and they start flipping out, and it's just like, oh my god, I can't, where's grandma, like, I'm taking you to grandma, you know, this is too much. So you know, we have to respect the roles of women, you know, the persona of women, the persona of female. We have to respect that because she's worthy. You know, that's why I appreciate that Tupac, Dear Mama. You know, it's like no matter who she is still worthy because she gave life and she did the best that she could. Um, I mean, you know, women, no matter who she is, she's beautiful, she's awesome, she's mysterious, she's special, no matter who she is. Don't try to make some women special and then take the special away from some other ones. It's not fair. Um, women are like a vessel, you know, they give life, they can multiply life, not just like give one life. I mean, they can give two, three, four, five, you know, one shot. So, I mean, even seven. I think I've heard up to nine. I can't remember if I've heard any bigger number than nine, you know? So, women are magical. Sometimes some people have given birth even in their late 60s, you know. It's just amazing. It's amazing. I think there was a lady, I think that was in India. She was like in her 80s. She was like 83 or 86 or something. And she's always wanted a child and she became pregnant in her 80s. You know, like you just never know. You never know when the woman is just gonna come up and show you something you never thought you'd see. So, um, I guess lastly, I can say, you know, just learn to be grateful for the women in your life. Um, don't wait for any, you know, special time. Like people be like, you know, Black History Month or Mother's Day or Women's Day or whatever other girls' day, female day thing or something. But it makes sense to do the best that you can um to respect them, to be grateful for having them in your life, to be there to care for you, because the whole time that you're making it seem as though it doesn't matter, once it's not there anymore, then you realize, like, oh my God, maybe this person actually matters, you know? When they're not around, I mean, things don't go the same way. You don't eat the same, you don't drink the same, you don't I mean, you probably don't even shower the same, you know? So it's just like, be respectful, be grateful for the women in your life, no matter who they are or how you think they are, or no matter what opinions you think you have of them, how you wanted them to be perfect, in certain ways, but they are not. They may not be doing things the way that you would wish that they do. They do things the way they know how to do. So respect that. Um, yeah, I can't say that enough times. I can't say this 1,000 times enough. Be respectful, be grateful, be loving, caring, for the women in your life. I hope you do. I hope this works. I hope um I hope you get to celebrate the women in your life. Celebrate them, show them the gratitude. Don't wait for any political day or community day to acknowledge her. Acknowledge her yourself on your own term. Too high. Excuse me. Acknowledge her on your own term. Um, because she's worth it. She's worthy and she deserves it. So you got it? I hope you do. Share this with someone, share it, subscribe, definitely, so you could get all of the new stuff that are coming along. So, until next time. All right. If it's during the day, have a wonderful day. If it's during the night, have some wonderful dreams. May your questions be answered. So, yeah. If you're a woman listening to this, you love yourself a little extra today. If you're a man listening to this, go remind your wife, your daughters, your mom, or your moms, your grandmas. Go remind them how wonderful they are in your life. And maybe get them some flowers, some candies, something they like. And you won't regret it, because you got to be more loving. You just don't know when the last day comes, and a lot of time we miss out on important things because we weren't paying attention. So, as I said, until next time, it is always a pleasure. This is your fab coach, your favorite coach, your fabulous coach like no other. Take care.